I'd love to read off more of these, but I have heponwana coming in the studio as I speak. So heponwana, the man with the luxurious beard, please take it away.
Thank you, Firebird Lover. Hey, I am heponwana. I'm going to be showing you ElecHead. This is a really cool game. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get started, I need to ask, how did the bid war turn out for our color palette?
The bid war turned out with pink blue winning with $200.
Excellent. I love this color palette. It's my usual one for running the game. I'm already on it. Pink and blue, trans pride colors. I love it. So we're going to play this game. And while we play it, I always like, whenever I do a speedrun event for charity, I like to have kind of a incentive and encouragement to donate a little bit extra. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to die some during this game. It's part of ElecHead. You die. So for every death I have, I'm going to donate $5. It's a great reason to donate some money. If anyone wants to join along, it's a great fun thing. I should add, when I say $5 per death, this run has a guarantee of at least 6 deaths. So there might be a lot, but there's going to be at least 6 of them. So if you want to donate $1 per death or something, it's a lot of fun. It's a great reason to, give a little more if you're able to. And so with that, I'm going to start this game. I'll tell you about it as I play through. This game starts with a weird timer. I'm going to reset the game. I'm going to delete my save, and then the game will start once it loads in. So I won't be able to count it down precisely. So I'm going to try to tell you as best I can. But once the screen appears with my little dude falling into the playfield, that's when time begins. So we're going to get going, delete our save, and it's going to be about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is ElecHead. ElecHead is a really cool puzzle platformer. We could run across checkpoints. Anytime you see me hit one of those, it's a checkpoint, which means if I die, I could come back. Everything in this world is the equivalent of metal, meaning it is conductive. Everything conducts electricity. And so, as we touch things, traps will activate because we are conducting electricity from our head. Our head is electrical, ElecHead. In this category, alternate end, there are 20 of these little collectibles that we want to find. And if we find all 20, we get to see the alternate ending. So we are going to collect those. I should also mention you're going to see things that look like the collectibles. Those are actually keys. If they are lit up pink, the electrical color, they're collectibles. If they are blue, the non-electrical color, they are keys. Other important things to know is I could kill myself at any time with a suicide button in this game, and using that button will let me do a little bit of death warping or death abuse. And we're just going to pretty much play with electricity for a little bit right now. So we want to, activate certain things, avoid activating others. This little elevator right here, if we activated it too soon, it would have left without us. These we want to activate, but then we want to turn off so we could jump through them. There's a lot of this cool manipulation of electricity. Here we are going to collect a couple more collectibles. Like I said, if they are blue, they are keys. If they're pink, like these, collectibles. Also, the collectibles follow what I call Celeste rules. If you know Celeste, if you want to grab a bunch of strawberries, depending on the category, well, those strawberries, if you just grab them, you don't automatically get them. And that's kind of what we have here. The collectibles, as soon as you touch them, you don't necessarily have them until they pop into you. And so we're going to take advantage of some manipulations on those. That there is a warp point, warp point 2. You might be wondering, where is warp point 1? Shouldn't we see 1 before 2? Well, that's the weird thing about the categories on this game. There are 3 main categories. There is alternate end, which you're seeing here. There is a Herm percent, which goes through collecting a bunch of color palettes. There are, on top of the 3 color palettes I told you all about, there is a intentional death again. There are, I believe, 7 additional color palettes for a total of 10 that are hidden. We will not see any of those. And then there are additionally any percent. Any percent is we avoid every checkpoint in the game up to this point. We will then grab this power up and intentional death. If we avoided every checkpoint in the game, we would have teleported back to the first room of the game as our checkpoint. Make sure we grab that before we go any further, because if we hit a checkpoint while a collectible is following you, that collectible is going to disappear. And we definitely don't want to have that happen. By the way, if you enjoy this game, and let's say you don't have a gaming PC, one cool thing is this is coming to Switch. They just announced it a couple weeks ago at a indie or Nindy event that this is coming to the Switch. It is a fantastic casual game. Casually, you will solve puzzles on this mode. On speedrunning, you're not solving many puzzles, you're just running as fast as you can. So you don't even know why is it we are touching certain platforms here and not touching other ones. You would know that if you went through more of a casual mode. You could also take some time to look at this cool visual. We don't have time. We're speedrunning. Gotta keep moving. Can't slow down for anything. Here we see checkpoint 3. Like I said, checkpoint 1, you do not see unless you do any percent. It is kind of... Here is a little speedrun skip. You could throw your head through that gap there. Pretty pixel perfect overall. Here is a new... trying a new trick that I learned before. This run just learned it a short bit ago and didn't quite work out correctly. I suppose hit that bottom platform on the side, your head would stick for a second. 1 sec, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wanted to count that out because you want to make sure you can land on this. But here is another cool little speedrun strat. If you touch that wall in the previous screen while you're jumping up, you could throw your head and skip half that room. Speaking of skipping, we want to skip these checkpoints. You'll see this key card right here. We'll grab the key card. Upper left, there's a doorway that is opening, which is good news. But if we hit a checkpoint while we are electrical, or if we activate a checkpoint and touch it even while not electrical, we would pretty much have that key go back to where it came from. By the way, you don't want to lose your head, but sometimes you want to let your head get ahead of you. Not really losing my head as much as letting my head do some work for me. Going through that passageway, it was too big with my head. ElecHead has kind of a big head, so I say head a lot during this run, might I add. But another thing, notice bottom right corner, there is a gap in the floor under the elevator. This game, all of the secrets in it are telegraphed to you. There is nothing that is not shown to you as long as you know what you're looking for. So right here, look at the upper right corner of this room. There is a passageway up there. Normally you are meant to jump up right where that upper opening is, but if we take our head and make sure we don't electrify that platform, we get our collectible. Like I was saying earlier, we need to get a total of 20 of these. There are 20 in the game, and we need all 20 of them for this special ending. And one cool thing is at the end of the game, it will tally up all my deaths for us. So in case we lose track at any point, we will be reminded of how many times I hurt our poor friend. I jumped there to avoid that checkpoint because if you fall, you gain a little more speed as you fall. And if I didn't skip that platform, it would have slowed me down a tiny bit. This room looks a lot like that one before. You will find a lot of the puzzles in this game. By the way, getting through with your head and the jump at the same time is really, really tight. It's pretty much frame perfect. But if you see a puzzle in this game and you think it's kind of cool, odds are you're going to see it a second time. Except it's going to be a little different, and it's going to make you rethink what it is you need to go through. All right, here comes another warp point. This is the one that's really going to teach us to count. You know, counting, it's fundamental, it's an important thing. You need to know how to count, like how many deaths, so we could donate to ore. So 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. And now we are going to try a skip that Oh, so close. Sorry about that. I just got kind of loud there, didn't I?
The big skip.
Oh, I am doing so sloppy on this one now. Alright, if you do that right, you won't grab any, or you won't activate any of those turrets. It is hard to do. These turrets you do want to activate because you need that key. We throw our head because that wall would have reformed. We would have ran into that wall and been trapped by the fireballs. Bottom left corner, there's a little dimple in the geometry showing there is another collectible. Great thing about this game, all of those collectibles are really advertised. Also, that's a pitfall, very advertised. You want to skip it. This is another, very tight skip right there. You don't need to wait for those fireballs if you just throw your head and let it magnetize. Your head has a little magnetism towards you. So we are going to have a chance to see traps, deactivating traps. Fireballs can't get through the electricity. Bottom right corner, you'll notice once again, there's a little dimple in the geometry. What could that mean? A collectible, obviously. And we'll let this collectible come to us. And then we have another one where I just learned a new strat that I did not know before until just the other day. This category just got a new world record recently, so I learned a lot of cool little things on that. Throw your head before you come up here, because you see there are turrets on the right. If your head was active and turned on those turrets, you'd have bad news. You would be shot, you'd be trapped, there is no escape from those turrets. Okay, here we are going to have first an intentional death. Get ready for it. And then hopefully not an intentional death. We're going to try a skip coming up. And I don't think this will work. So if we were a little closer to those fireballs, we wouldn't have to do this. But we had to do that. If you are a little closer to those next fireballs ahead of you, you can actually get through skin of your teeth right there, barely get through before you're killed. By the way, great time if you have any announcements, Firebird Lover.
Let's see. No new donations, but just again, I want to remind everyone that we are this marathon is for OAR, the Organization for Autism Research, that supports a variety of programs, initiatives, using your donations to help the autistic community. We appreciate all of your donations, and we are still looking to get to $2,500 for that Zelda 2 run. And that's what I got. Thank you very much, heponwana.
All right, so this is my least favorite part of the run. This here is the slot machine, which is really hard to get perfectly, and it is pretty much where my runs go to die typically. So once you get this slot machine, you throw your head, you grab your head, you don't grab the collectible, you go back here. You might have saw earlier, I turned on this checkpoint and then death abuse back to the check, or turned on that portal and death abuse back to the checkpoint. If you have a collectible following you and you go to a warp point, you can get your collectible to follow you and collect at that point. Here we have a little mini game. This is also a good place for runs to die, depending on if you start getting kind of into your own head a little bit. So you'll notice it says, oh, real quick, my head's upside down, you might notice. So it says we need 10, we actually need 30, I have to redo that. There are a few different cycles these could be on, and I got pretty much the worst cycle right there. You'll notice as my head leaves my body, it's going to count down. I only have 10 seconds before I have to get back to my head. So we definitely want to not let myself die while I'm using my head to help us get some of these collectibles ahead of time. How many times can I say head? So, getting 30 of those, we get all of those collectibles opened up. And now we have 16, which is what we want to see right here. By the way, this room, you're going to see it again coming up real soon. And it's a great example of where I said you will see some puzzles, but slightly different. And casually, it's really cool because it makes you really have to think how to beat different rooms. We dropped these just enough where we could climb up here. You could also let those, that was a mistake, meant to throw my head from off screen, so we could jump and grab that with the bridge still on. So, once again, upper left corner, things look a little weird up there, like you could go up there. This game does not hide any secrets all that, all that complexly. Like, they really want you to be able to explore the game and have fun with it. Should say this game, Nama Takahashi, who developed this game, brilliant game design on this. If you love puzzle games, the casual run on this game is just fantastic. So here you'll see what happens if you touch an electrified checkpoint. You reset the room, but your head and your body don't reset. So this is that puzzle that I said pay attention to, because we're having basically same puzzle type, but solving it completely different. It's really cool how this game will really push different ideas and make you really think about them. So how did I now throw my head up here? Well, on one hand, you could see the geometry of the ceiling looked weird, but also if you activate that TV down there, you would see that it says throw your head up. Once again, geometry showed something was up here, so we will come up here and look at that, another collectible. Might I add, that's 18, which is pretty much all the collectibles. The other two are kind of gimmies. I messed that up just a little. If you do this right, you'll get your head on this platform without having to dodge the fireballs, because your head and your body will be separate, and the fireballs will go right over you. Unfortunately, I did that slightly off. Marathons, it's very easy to kind of get in your own head and forget about all the perfect speed strats, but instead just have some fun and show a really cool game like this. You want to grab that checkpoint before you throw your head up there. If you don't, you will end up losing your head, because that checkpoint, if it's electrified, you could then hit it to reset the room, except for your head and body. If it wasn't electrified, nothing good would happen. By the way, once again, same room more or less 2 times. The same puzzle, I should say, 2 times, but slightly different, so you really have to think about it. I honestly love the simplicity of this puzzle. It's very good at showing you casually how to find some secrets, because you want to hit that checkpoint and it resets the room so you could go under here. Throw our head. If we throw our head and do it right, we'll skip a cycle of those fireballs. Let our head do the work for us. It sticks to things just for a tiny second. So TV says 6 and up. It means throw your head up, and what would 6 be? There's a 6. What did that do for us? Well, it let our head come down. If it's a different time, it would have landed on spikes. So here we have a 2-room puzzle. There are not too many of these previously, but a 2-room puzzle is a lot of fun because it really makes you think. And if you do it that way, speedrun route, it is very precise timing. You only have a second left. Speaking of seconds left, we are approaching checkpoint 6. This is the last checkpoint or last warp point. except for it's not. We're actually going to Warp Point question mark. Warp Point question mark is about the end of the game. There are 2 collectibles, they're both right here. To get them, we need to take advantage of the Warp Point. And then we have a 3-room puzzle right here. 3 rooms makes it extra tricky because our time is super tight. You'll see I have 1 second left. So let's grab that, make sure we grab that. 20 out of 20 collectibles, we're at this doorway, it opens up, and we're in the long walk to the end. Thought I'd check in one more time. Any announcements to read?
No announcements right now, but just wanted to let people know that all weekend long, your donation to OR gets you entered in to win prizes offered by community members of Fastest Furs community. Use command !prizes in chat to see the full prize list, and continue to cheer for heponwana in his amazing run.
All right, so this is it. Get ready on time. We want to go up 5 screens. I'm not going to show you the last screen. I kind of lost track of counting those, but nope, wrong screen. So 1 more. So get ready on time. Ready? It is 3, 2, 1, time. So what happened right there? Well, I'm not going to show you the end of the game, not the final screen at least. Let's just say there's a big MacGuffin up there. It's a machine, your head's electrical, you power up that machine, and what happens? This happens. Alternate end, planet explodes. I'm not sure whether that's good or bad. So when you run this game, speed run, we go off of in-game time. We get the credits here. We'll skip them because we're at an event. We don't have time for them, but great credits, great game. So there's our final time, 18:45:07, which is pretty darn good. 10 deaths. We got 20 out of 20 collectibles and just those 3 color palettes. So 10 deaths, I'm going to donate $5 per death to, or if anyone wants to join me, either $5 per death or just $1 per death or whatever you could give. This is a great cause, great charity, great event. I am so glad that Fastest Furs had me back. This is my 3rd event with Fastest Furs, and I love this community. The most positive, amazing people, best speedrunners, best, just good people all around.
Well, I'll be matching you on that, and I hope plenty of other members of the community will too. If there's anything left that you want to say, any last call-outs, please do so.
Just want to say thank you for all the GGs. I just want to say thank you everyone for being so amazing. Be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and just know that, we are all in this world together. We should make it the good world we want it to be.